Hey, what is up? So, welcome to this very special live. Obviously, it's got to be done because it's Wes Craven. We have to sort of give him some sort of love and recognition on the anniversary of his death. So, unfortunately, we did lose him 10 years ago today to brain cancer, which is obviously very sad. But I am joined by some very special guests today who I will be bringing on shortly. Obviously, I am dressed up, probably looking like the dollar store version of Freddy Krueger here, which is fine. But yeah, anyway, as you can tell, I'm very awkward on camera. This is why I don't do it. But I've got some very special guests joining me shortly. I was going to have a couple more, but unfortunately, some people just couldn't make it. So I hope that everything is all right there. But before I do bring everybody on, I just want to say if you do, I'm not asking for them at all because it's not what I do. But if you do decide to at all purchase a super chat or anything like that, all of the money from that will be going to worldwide cancer research, just because I think it's a nice thing to do, considering Wes's death and everything like that. So yeah, as I said, not asking for them. But let's have a quick look in the chat. And then what I'll do is I'll bring everybody on, give them a quick introduction. I'm going to ask them a few questions, and then we're just going to have a general chit chat and hopefully not make a dick of myself, but I'm dressed like this, so probably will do. King Matthew III, thank you so much for joining. Welcome in. I'm glad to have you here. Obviously, we have got Crawl ZV, who is one of my very special guests today. We've got Chester. Hey, Chester, hope you're okay. And we have Russell saying, what's up, everyone? Let's smash that like button if you haven't already. Hi, Jorge and Kyle, everyone in the chat. Let's get this party started. I agree. Unfortunately, Kyle is one of the people who is unable to join this evening, but I do hope that he is okay. And we have Johnny. Hey, Johnny, thank you so much for joining. I did see actually that you have become a member, so thank you very much for that. Because you became a member on this live before it went live, I will also be donating that to cancer research as well. Let's see who else is in the chat. We have Jean. Hello, Jean. I hope you're doing well. We have I Like Scream and Ice Cream. Cracking name. We do love that. And if you don't love Scream and you don't love ice cream, I think there's something very wrong with you. Let's see what else we're getting in the chat. My favourite film that Wes Craven made, aside from Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. I also enjoy Vampire in Brooklyn. Yeah, great movie. Just seeing if there's anybody that I haven't mentioned before I bring everybody on. So we have Byron. Hello, Byron. I'm trying to show you here. There we go. Hope you're doing well. We have Tyler. Hope you're doing well, Tyler. Great to finally see you and you look awesome. Thank you very much. As I said, it's probably the only time we'll ever go on because it's a little bit of a disguise still, I guess. British Freddy Krueger sounds terrifying. I can agree with that. It'd probably be quite haunting, really. Hey, Big Al, I hope that you are feeling better and that you're healing up all right. And we have Hollywood Lito, 10-year anniversary. Hard to believe he's been gone that long. Tough day. It is a tough day and it has gone very, very quickly. So, you know, I do wonder sort of what he would have done if he hadn't have been here. And that's one of those things that's a bit, you know, gut-wrenching and heart, like makes you just feel a bit funny because he could have done so much more. But I am going to start bringing on my guests. So the first guest I am going to bring on, he has been on my channel before. To be fair, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have started my channel when I did. So I do have him to thank for that because I used to pop into his live streams and the encouragement just started there. So the first person I am bringing on today is Shay from Shay Rants. How are you doing, Shay?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on. My Wi-Fi is being a bit shit, so I might lag.
I don't know if it's just me. I can't hear anything. Bear with me. Technical issue. Great. I might have to change my my things. Bear with me one moment. Technology is always fun, people. Okay, that's better. I can hear you now. I think.
I thought it was me.
Yeah, no, hang on, bear with me. You've got to bear with me. I'm having full-on technical issues, which is not great at all. I do apologize, guys. One sec, because it's not recognizing the earpods that I have in. So bear with me and I will get this sorted. I'm going to look like a right idiot though, so, but it is okay. Okay, I can actually hear you now. That's great. Sorry about that. So how are you? You okay?
Yeah, doing pretty good. My Wi-Fi, as I did say, is being a bit shit, so I might lag sometimes. But yeah,
that's
well.
fine. That's fine. I've been having technical issues, as you can tell, so it's going perfectly there. Next person I am going to be bringing on, I have been on his channel twice. He does a great series of podcasts on his channel talking about all things horror. He is obviously a Scream fan and Wes Craven fan. It is Cruel ZV. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm good, thank you. Obviously, you are looking very dashing today.
Yeah, I had to pull out the fit, especially for this one, because earlier this year I did also lose my grandma to brain cancer as well. So being on here is great, and glad you're doing it for a great cause as well.
I'm so sorry to hear that. It's definitely one of the most horrible things that anybody can go through. So but yeah, had to put in there that if anybody sort of donates anything, it will go to charity. I'm not just going to keep it because I just think it's appropriate. But my final guest that I'm bringing on today is somebody who I absolutely love watching his channel. He's got a great voice, so I do think that we both still need to do some ASMR together. He does a fantastic show on his channel. He's a great host, and I did appear on his channel a couple of weeks ago and had a blast. It is, of course, Davey Deathray. How are you doing, Davey?
I'm doing great, Em. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate you, not just inviting me on, but thinking of this. So this is one of those things that is kind of crazy. 10 years. I remember where I was. Like I was living in Portland. I was working at a pizza place called Hot Lips when I heard the news. So I still remember, and I can't believe it's been that long. So yeah, very sweet of you to host us here, and of course to do some fundraising for cancer research.
Yeah, thank you for joining me, and thank you for that as well. And I have noticed we actually have the same Camp Crystal Lake.
We do, yes.
So definitely a cool bit of something to have on the wall, and just in general, especially if you're a fan of Friday the 13th. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of all of them, but
sure, it's a fun series. And you're selling yourself short. You don't look like the dollar store version of Freddy. You look more like A Nightmare on Elm Street 5 or Freddy's Dead Freddy.
That's all right then.
And yeah, no, it's cool to see everybody on camera. Although I guess Cruel ZV, he's got his movie out down there.
Yeah.
But we've got Johnny giving a €2 super chat there. Thank you so much, Johnny. It will be going towards cancer research. He says, "Hey, love the Freddy costume. Top 5 West movies." That's a very good question. Obviously, for me, it's got to be Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street. I do love Hills Have Eyes. I love Red Eye. Those are my 4 favorites. I can't really think of a 5th that I would put in there, though, because there's so many good ones. What about you guys? What do you think?
Well, for me, obviously, Scream is my favorite. Second, I would actually have to go with Dream Warriors. It's just the way they did everything, and they really showed how powerful Freddy can actually be. Not like in the first film. Yeah, the first one was still fantastic. Little bit of a downside to Freddy, like he wasn't that powerful, but then Dream Warriors went all out, and I gotta love Wes for that one. Hills Have Eyes, obviously. Scream 4 is actually probably my 3rd. I love Jill Roberts in that one, the vibe of that movie as well, the soundtrack. It's just amazing. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, probably the original for my 5th one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. What about you, Davey?
Yeah, I guess I would go. I mean, no particular order because it's tough to put them in order. I would have to throw. Let's see here. Obviously, the first Scream. Really love it. The very first Nightmare on Elm Street. Although I'm gonna also throw in Wes Craven's New Nightmare there because that's sort of like laid the groundwork for changing. I think one of the cool things that Wes did, and we'll get more into this as we talk, is he brought something new to the slasher subgenre. It was well running, but he changed it from just like camp slashers and home invasion kind of stuff, kind of changed the game. And then in the 90s, once it was like kind of dying out, he sort of reinvigorated it again. And then I think he even did that again with Scream 4. It's crazy. So, but I'm also going to throw Last House on the Left in there because that movie is brutal and a very difficult watch, but something that was like very much of its time and really effective. And then I think other than that, how many have I named? 3, 4? Gosh, I don't know. I really like The Serpent and the Rainbow. I know it doesn't get much love, but I really dig that one quite a bit. Because it's sort of based on that sort of like the real Haitian kind of zombies, the voodoo zombies. I sort of like that. And I'll just go ahead and throw Shocker in there too, because that movie's batshit and really fun.
Nice. What about you, Shay?
So for me, similar to Davey, I probably also can't pick like an actual order, but I'd have Scream. He was the one who did Swamp Thing, right? The original like Swamp Thing one.
Yes, he was.
The DC movie, yeah. Swamp Thing, New Nightmare, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Scream 2.
Nice pick. I mean, to be fair, if I could, I'd just go Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, and then A Nightmare on Elm Street. But I tried to put in a bit of variety. But great question, Johnny. Thank you for that. And thank you for the compliment on the costume. Let's just see, before I start getting into the questions that I've got to ask you guys, let's see if we've got anybody else. So we've got Good Real Hunting. Welcome in. We have Gory Tiger. What is up, Gory? I hope you are doing well. And just having a quick look, and then we will get into it. We have Amanda. Good evening, Amanda. Hope you're well. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay. We've also got Denise. Welcome in, Denise. I hope you're doing good. And we do have another super chat from Hollywood Lita of $9.99. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. It's all going to a very good cause. So thank you so much for that. And we also have another super chat as well from Good Real Hunting saying, Davey the man, for $1.99. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you all a couple of questions, Wes related, obviously, and we're just going to have a quick chat about everything and just chill out, really. I don't like taking things too seriously. As you can tell, I'm quite awkward when it comes to being on camera. So I just go with it. But I think my first question is actually going to go to Cruel ZV. And I'm just going to ask you sort of, because you're quite a bit younger than at least Davey and I know that Shay's only just out of the as well. But with you, like, what was your first introduction to Wes Craven?
Well, like maybe like early 2020, I think it was January-ish. I remember we were looking on Amazon Prime, finding something to watch. And then I was like, yo, look at Scream over there. And then it just kind of started off from there. We watched Scream 1 and 2 on the first day, and then Scream 3, 4 the next day. And then when Scream 5 came out, we didn't actually see it in theaters, but we rented it when it came on Prime. And then Scream 6 in theaters, which was great. That was still one of the greatest phases. I loved the soundtrack there, and it was like a great experience to watch with like the bodega scene, the subway scene. I know over time it did get a little bit lower on people's tier lists, but for me it's always been up there because of how unique and different it was, to the point it was almost like a spin-off. It wasn't even like a real Scream film.
No, that's fair enough. I do agree. It definitely doesn't have that. It has a completely different feel to the rest of the Scream movies for me. But I love that Scream was your first introduction just a few years ago, because I was about 7 or 8 when that movie came out, and I remember it. I'm sure you do as well, Davey, when it first came out, and it's mad that that's still happening. And people like, you're 15, am I correct in saying that?
Yep.
Still, people like you would have been like 10 at the time, and it's still having the same sort of impact as what it had back then. And I absolutely love that. That's just the best thing for me. It just shows how strong the franchise is, I think.
Yeah, everything really just started off with me with Five Nights at Freddy's back in like 2015. And then kind of branched off from there. 2018, watched my first horror movie, which was obviously Halloween. And then it kept branching off of there. And I'm here really just trying to be a director, hopefully in the future. And started my own podcast, obviously. And here just doing a whole bunch of horror stuff, kind of dedicating my life to it. And that's why I have all of this.
Love it.
And yeah.
It's nice to see. It is definitely nice to see. And I wish you all the best with being a director, because that is definitely something that would be amazing if you got into. So I do hope that works out for you.
Yeah, thankfully there is like a film class in my school, so that's where I plan to start everything off.
Nice.
I'm not going to say which school, obviously, but one main actor from Bloodline's Final Destination did graduate from that school, so it gives me a little bit of more hope to kind of like get out there, maybe make my own short films. I've already come up with a whole bunch of like cool ideas. So sometime in the future, I do plan to do that. I had to cancel a few productions actually, but it's money. Canada is rough.
It'll happen though. Like it, everything happens when it's supposed to happen. I'm a strong believer in that, and you'll get there. Like I fully believe that you will. I think the next question I'm going to ask is going to be aimed at Shay, and I know that you sort of like the meta aspect of sort of Wes's, especially Scream. So how do you think like Wes's take on horror and like the meta commentary sort of in horror in general has influenced sort of what goes on in horror nowadays?
Well, I mean, after Scream, basically every movie like after that in the late 90s was all sort of teen-oriented meta comedy. From what I know, it did last summer, Urban Legend and things like that. And you can definitely still see it in more modern movies, especially with like some of the comedy, not really the horror, but a lot of comedies are now meta commentary. I'm trying to think of a few, but I can't really think of a few. But yeah,
it's on the spot, so it's not to be expected straight away. But it is. I love that aspect as well. Personally, I think it's a great aspect of his movies, just being that self-aware and not taking yourself too seriously, but at the same time not completely ripping the piss out of yourself. I quite like that. But yeah, I've got one for Davey as well, because I think this is a very Davey question, and you're probably going to hate me for it because it's going to be one you have to think of. But sort of, out of all of the franchises or movies that have sort of come out since Wes's death, which ones do you think he would have excelled in?
Oh, franchises since his death. Okay. I think like the one that just like comes straight to mind is The Black Phone. Especially with like where they're taking it now, to where it's like, people are like, oh, they're going to go supernatural with it. And it's like, well, the first movie was supernatural. It was just the victims that were like the supernatural part. The killer, the villain was flesh and blood and everything. So now we're seeing it to where it's like the killer is now in that world and can sort of cross over and torment the survivors. So I feel like obviously I'm not the first person to say it. It's kind of been said since they dropped the very first teaser that it sort of has that A Nightmare on Elm Street kind of feel. So I think that it would be one that he would have excelled in. I'm trying to think of what are some other newer franchises. Gosh,
I know I've really screwed you with that one, to be fair.
No, so the Black Phone is like, I'm just trying to think of one that's, I don't know. I think I think what Wes probably would have done, if he wasn't working in a franchise, I think we would probably see something from him that would be like, because he was always kind of an innovator and a reinvigorator and doing different stuff. And, You know, he had like more like kind of thriller movies as well, you know, like in the later part of his career. So I think that he would, you know, maybe hook up with somebody like A24 or Neon and do something that's just a little more like, you know, do something that's a little more modern and challenge himself, because he seemed like that kind of guy that was never, didn't want to stick in that era that he was a part of. So I could see him putting out movies, you know, similar to something similar to like, you know, Oz Perkins or like Ari Aster or something like that. JT Molnar, like something like Strange Darling could be something that like I could see Wes tackling something like that kind of vibe. That's a really good question. That is but you know what? He probably just would have stuck with Scream.
Probably.
Like, we wouldn't have gotten radio silent Scream movies, which like for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. Like sometimes artists just jive with you and sometimes they don't. With me, radio silence has got a ceiling that's pretty low. Like I think the best movie I've seen of theirs is probably like a B or a B plus. Like Ready or Not's probably the best movie I've seen of theirs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they just never really seem to like get past there. They have elements of their movies I really like, but they don't really like, they don't stick the landing. I thought that was the issue with Scream 5 and Scream 6. So yeah, we probably just would have seen Wes keep on going with those, especially after 4. 4 is amazing. It's my favorite sequel in the franchise. So
it is a great sequel. I mean, I definitely can see like everything you've just said there. I can really see. I think he probably would have still been making steps in directions that other people haven't, which would probably then influence. I think that horror would have been very different now if he had still been around, personally. I think another franchise that he probably would have done well in, but it's only because it's very similar and took aspects of it, would have been Happy Death Day as well. Like,
oh, okay.
I know that was all Christopher Landon, but something like that, I think he would have maybe done something similar, or I don't know.
Yeah, you see those filmmakers that are definitely influenced. I think Christopher Landon for sure. I mean, even something like Drop kind of has that thriller, that red eye kind of, I mean, there's also like Hitchcockian kind of things going on there too. So maybe there's like influences from multiple directors, but yeah, it is interesting too to see that and to think about that, like the lasting impact that a director has even after they're gone. The people that grew up watching their stuff, you know, the people that are like our age, and even people that are younger, like Shay and Cruel ZV. There, it's really inspiring stuff for sure.
No, I agree with that. And for all of you, like, what sort of impact has Wes had on you guys with regards to your love of the horror franchise and genre?
Have at it. One of you young bucks, have at it.
Okay, I'll go first. Well, honestly, for me, when I first watched like movies like Halloween or The Conjuring, when I first like started getting into horror, they were great. But then when I watched Scream, it was like different from the rest. And yeah, it was still horror and it still had a lot of gore, but it had a little bit of like a comedy effect to it. And it was still like funny at some parts of it, the film. And there were still emotions throughout the film. That's like when I met Rose McGowan, who played Tatum, she talked about when we were like talking at the stand there, she was talking about how when Tatum got killed, her like she wanted it to make it feel like you lost a friend. And it was a great offing by Ghostface as well. And it's how creative the franchise can get. And then he obviously made A Nightmare on Elm Street, which mind-blowing. It's crazy what he did, but Scream is really what brought me into the horror genre way more than any other franchise. Yeah, I was obsessed with Halloween, but Scream really had the spark in there, which is why it's my favorite franchise of all time. Terrifier is great. I love Terrifier, but nothing can really beat Scream for me, and it's always been like that for the past 5 years, which is pretty crazy because I've been a Halloween fan for a long time, but Scream it's always been the spotlight for me.
Something special about it, isn't there, for sure?
Yeah.
It really is. What about you, Shay? What sort of impact has Wes sort of had on your love of horror?
Well, like most people, the first film that I did see of his was Scream. I think I was like 13 or something. I watched it with my sister on like my laptop in like my bedroom because like my parents didn't like horror movies, so I just sort of did it by myself in the dark. And I really enjoyed it. She didn't really like it as much as I did, but after that, I went and watched like Nightmare on Elm Street, the rest of the Scream movies that were out then, and then after that, I was really excited for the new ones when they come out. And yeah, then I went and watched some of his other movies. I'm still yet to watch Last House on the Left. I'm just not really into that kind of like subgenre of
get some,
horror.
You're gonna need some friends. You're gonna need some friends around for that one.
100%. There's some scenes that I definitely
I can take that kind of shit, but yeah.
It's definitely a rough watch though.
Yeah, I can't really blame you for that one either. I can get why you wouldn't want to watch it, but hey, it's your choice, and I 100% get it. It can be a tough watch for some people, but even if you can handle it, but you just don't really feel like watching it, that makes a lot of sense. I can see why, because there's like so many people that like watch so many gory films and stuff, like Terrifier and stuff, and they love that type of stuff, but they just can't really watch it because sometimes it can get a little bit too much. But if you're also just like not really into that type of stuff, it makes a lot of sense.
I know that Shay's watched some messed up stuff.
oh yeah, I mean I'm big up into like disturbing horror, but like when it's like extreme realism about like how they go about it, it's just not really my vibe.
No, I'm with you on that. The only thing that I think for me personally with that movie, the only reason that I would respect and watch it is because it's Wes Craven's first movie, directorial role, that he, obviously a lot of love and care went into that. But even he said, like, after people watched that, they were scared to leave their kids with him, like, which is understandable. But
yeah, that one, man. When I was in my 20s, I was like fearless. I would like watch whatever. And then when I got out of my 20s, I was like, man, I just really the horror mixed with like the sexual stuff, like so close together. Because I think that's the it just feels so real. It's a great double. If you want to watch like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then follow it up with Last House on the Left, and then like take a shower and do something like really happy. Like, just have the most fun after that, because you're gonna be down.
Yeah,
100%. What about you, Davey? Like, how has Wes's movies in general just like impacted your love for the genre?
Well, it certainly has. I saw, the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. I was probably like 10 or 11 when I saw that. A friend of mine and we went and like crashed a girl's sleepover birthday party. And I don't even remember who I was with or who, it's just like one of those, it's such a distant memory now. I'm in my early 40s, so it's like so far away. But we like crashed this party, and we were the only two guys that are, little boys there. And the mom was like, oh, you guys think like, you all think you're tough. Like the whole group, she was like, you need to watch this movie, and pulled out the VHS of A Nightmare on Elm Street. So, got to see that like without the editing for television and everything like that. And it was just so like fantastic to me, and so, different than anything I had seen at that point. Cause I had seen like Halloween, I had seen Child's Play, and some Friday the 13th movies, all on TV pretty much, other than Child's Play. So yeah, it just stuck out to me as being so different. And then that was right around the time that like Freddy's Dead came out. So, I was a little kid, so I wasn't too discernible about like quality of those films. So I was just like watching whatever I could get my hands on at that point. And then even playing like the NES video game, which I still think is pretty awesome. Like out of all the LJN games, like that one's really fun. It's a lot more fun than the Friday the 13th game. But then even, you sort of forget, like, you watch A Nightmare on Elm Street, you enjoy those. I sort of forget. And then, yeah, when I was like 14 or whatever, Scream came out, and it just seemed at that point in my life, it seemed like slashers were dead for so long, even though it was probably only, it was about 7 years, until we'd really gotten like the good ones. Like we were still getting like the weird tail end kind of slashers, but for Scream to come back and seem so completely fresh and different, the whodunit aspect, which was just done a little bit differently than they ever did it in the 80s. And then also I think like the the Kevin Williamson writing was great, but also Wes, paying tribute to movie. Like, it is him basically doing like his version of Halloween, but with a whodunit. Like, the movie is very, in the opening scene, there's lines that are references to the original Halloween, and there's very much like you can see that love letter there. So I think that's what really put him on the map for me. And then it was after like falling in love with Scream, it was like, okay, now let me go check out Serpent in the Rainbow and Last House on the Left and Shocker. Although I remember seeing the poster for Shocker as a kid in the movie store. But yeah, once I was in high school, I was really starting to make those connections, connecting the filmmaker with the piece and then following the filmmaker from there. When I was a kid, I was just like watching whatever I could watch,
Yeah, completely get that. I love that, although Nightmare was the sort of first introduction, Scream still got to pop in there somewhere. And I think obviously Scream is my favorite franchise. I don't know if you've realized that at all. But
Yeah.
No, couldn't tell.
But it's like, it's one of those movies. I mean, I don't see it really necessarily as a horror movie because I've got so much attachment to it. There's a lot of nostalgia there as well. But A Nightmare on Elm Street is just one of those franchises that is so bizarrely good. Like, you've got so many different aspects of one character, and I love how much of a variety there is in that specific franchise. I would love to see it come back. I really would. I would love to see a new movie. With nothing like the remake that we got, not carrying on from that. No, bring back some of the originals, do a requel if you really want to. I'd love to see Robert Englund. I don't know if he would ever do it, but I would love to see him come back in that as well. But yeah, I just love that there's just a variety of different things. And obviously Wes Craven wasn't just horror. He did some drama pieces. He did, he was very flexible with what he did. It's just, I think horror's the biggest place that he's had most of an impact, and rightfully so. But yeah, I just wanted to, ask a couple of questions, get that going just for the first half, because I thought it would just be interesting to get more of an insight of why you guys see things, because obviously I see Wes Craven in my own way. So it's nice to see what impact it has had on other people as well. Have had a couple more super chats. Let me just find those, because I do want to thank whoever has done that. So we've got one from Pumpkin King for $10 saying, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. We have another one from Johnny, #4Wes. Also, great to see a new generation getting into Scream. I really hope Scream 7 is good. Very pleased with the Betrami score I heard so far.
Ooh,
I will be getting onto that a little bit later, because I think Scream 7 is going to be a great sort of second part to this franchise, this stream, because we've got a lot to talk about there. And I know they want to keep it to sort of Wes's sort of influence. Just making sure I haven't missed anything else. Bear with me.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, I'm really worried about the film. Like, really worried.
I get it. I do get it. I can see why. But at the same time, I think it's going to be the best one that we have had for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through a couple more chats, and then we're going to get into the Scream 7 talk. We do have a double feature podcast in. Welcome in. I hope you're well. Saying, hey, everyone, favourite Wes Craven film is The People Under the Stairs.
Oh.
Great movie. Very good movie. And to be honest, I don't even know how that one was missed, if I'm perfectly honest with you, because it is such a good movie. I like Scream and Ice Cream says, feel like if Wes made a Final Destination movie, that could have been cool. I
can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I always compare Final Destination to Nightmare on Elm Street, because it's more about the creative kills than it is about characters for the most part.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
I love Bloodlines. I think Bloodlines is a great comeback for the franchise. But
really good.
I think it's my favorite.
Same, 100%.
Yeah, I still can't get over the Todd scene. I cried for like 10 minutes when I watched that. That was so sad.
Gotta be painful. Great character as well. So yeah. Let me just see if there's anything else going on. Bear with me.
We got some love for Red Eye in the chat. I'm seeing that.
That's good. That's good because it's a great movie.
He really did he could nail that thriller thing too. So it was like, I mean, I guess thriller is like kind of horror in a way, but it is more like that mainstream, kind of like what you were saying about Scream. It's like, yeah, Scream's a horror movie, but it is so mainstream accessible. When you're at the point where like your franchise, I mean, even when it was relatively new, early 2000s, and the merch is at like Hot Topic and Spencer's and all that, when it was still like somewhat fresh and they only had the first 3 movies, it's like Scream was like iconic right out of the gate, kind of like the way Terrifier's been, where it was like right away, it had that lasting, there's like that image that's just so stark and memorable. And then there's also something about like the flavor of the film and the style of the filmmaking that just, people fall in love with it. I would, obviously Scream is more mainstream than something like Terrifier, but there's the acceleration of the popularity,
100%. I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I mean, I've just seen another comment as well from King Matthew III, and he feels like another movie that Wes could have been good at would be the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise.
Would have been better than the one we just got. God, that one we just got.
Yeah, that would have been way better than that.
Am I the only person who doesn't actually mind that movie?
No, I didn't mind it either. I liked the twist at the end. That was like when they did that, I was like, oh my god, finally, I've been waiting so long for them to actually do a twist like that.
It's just like, why is I Know What You Did Last Summer, even in the 90s and now, it's like they're like 3 steps behind the whole rest of the horror world, and they're like, see, we're doing the thing, and it's like, you guys are like the DC universe, like you're like 3 years behind, and you're trying to act like your shit is still fresh just because it's the first time you've done it. I don't know. There's a scene in the I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new movie, and we don't need to talk about it, but there's one scene that stuck out to me. It really annoyed me, where the 2 killers, one of them is looking at their phone, concerned about one of their friends that's missing, but the only other person that's around them is the other killer. And I'm like, that's just for us. That's just bad writing. That is not something these people, she wouldn't be like, oh my god, this is my friend. And he's like, yeah, we killed him. Very odd. Anyways, the acting is the best part of I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'll say that. Tyreek Withers. I'm pumped for him just because of him.
Yeah, no, I do completely get that. I think what I really liked about it, I just like violence, like the gore and kills, and that's really lame.
Ooh, I could have used more of that, but I hear you.
It could have used more, but I think some of the kills were quite just like, oh, like when you're like you can feel some of them. But I don't know. I think it's the best sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer, because the others are just absolute crap. To be honest,
still is so much fun though. It's so ridiculous.
I didn't mind it that much.
I mean, Jeffrey Combs, holy cow. Like, he just makes it for me. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Anywho, yeah, Wes would have done much better with I Know What You Did Last Summer for sure.
100% with this experience on Scream. He could have done so much with that franchise and actually given it a unique take, because all the movies are like the exact same. There's nothing new about I Know What You Did Last Summer. I still always know the new one. There's nothing new. It's all the same stuff. Fisherman has the same exact weapon the entire time, but compared to Scream, Ghostface branches out all the time with 2 guns instead of just using like a hook like the Fisherman. He has like the knife, he has the gun, and then he obviously has the shotgun in Scream 6. And then he uses like the like environment to his advantage. The Fisherman does that a lot as well, but it's just like Wes could have done so much better.
He probably would have been like, what? You want me to do that movie? Like, let's do another Scream movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do The Imitator, because the book I Know What You Did Last Summer is way more interesting than any of the movies, because it's more of a mystery, and since there's no visual aspect, it helps with the mystery, because the character that's doing all the bad stuff is going by 2 different names depending on who he's hanging out with. So you don't know that until the very end. So you can't really do that in a movie, unfortunately. But the book is really good. If you've never read the book is very good.
I think I will definitely have to read that, because I've not read it personally. I'm not a big reader, but I like
Yeah,
a good
same.
recommendation.
Reading puts me to sleep.
Yeah, I've read
much.
Death
It's the
Note.
only
I've
thing
read
that
The
puts me to
Shining.
sleep.
We've
Yeah.
got Pumpkin King saying New Nightmare was way ahead of its time. It was really what paved the
100%.
way for Williamson to write Scream. I agree with that, and I think that's something that Wes did very, very well. He was very ahead of the time. He was very clever with how he did everything. If you look at Scream 4, it didn't perform very well when it first came out for a number of reasons. I think one of those reasons was because it was very much ahead of its time, and
Mhm.
Wes basically, and obviously Kevin Williamson in the writing, but they predicted what the next 10 years would bring, which was quite scary. But it was that's something that Wes did very, very well. We've got Hollywood Lito saying Wes has an ability that few directors had: make the audience feel unsafe, to make the audience feel like they were watching the work of an artistic madman, which kept the audience on their toes. 100%. I think you see that in Scream 2 as well, which one thing that I love that I read is that they made I know that the opening of Scream 2 is related to something else as well, but they put it in the cinema or the theatre, whatever you want to call it, for when people who first went to see that, they were basically in the same situation that the people who were getting murdered in the opening scene were in, because they were sat there watching that movie. And it's just the psychological part of that. That's just like, I wish I had been old enough to go and see it back then.
There were probably couples that had that very same conversation going into the theater, right? Like,
oh yeah,
because that was like one of those stereotypical things. You always, like, Tommy Davidson used to do it in his stand-up routine, talking about like the brothers are always the first ones to go. So there was sort of that whole like thought. I mean, so like it's one of those things that's so believable, and that I think that's some of the best writing in Scream 2. And I think Scream 2 is great, but I think that opening is like, for how strong the opening is in the original, holy crap, that opening to Scream 2 is amazing. And
it's
like Jada,
great.
Yeah, Jada really brings a good performance. And of course, you've got gosh, why am I slipping on the other guy's name? Who is it? It's
I know who you're on about.
He was in so many of those movies back then. Why can't I think of his name? Anywho, great performances, just the back and forth, like the chemistry, you know, the rat-a-tat-tat and the rhythm to the conversation and everything. So yeah, it puts you right there. And it's sort of, I think a cool thing that Scream did, it like stoked its own flames. You know, it was like, hey, we're going to create a world within our world where people are wildly rabid about our movie. So it's like, even in a meta way, they created a fan. They were like, no, as fans, you guys should be like wild and rabid for Scream, because that's how we depict the fans of the franchise of Stab in our movies. So it was a really kind of creative thing that they sort of did. I think that helped make the fandom, you know, get more into it, because you wanted to be part of the party.
100%. I agree with that completely. It's just very clever, very just different and unique. And that's what has been missing. I think that nowadays people do try to sort of just rehash out what's already been done, whereas you need that kind of uniqueness and something new and fresh. We've got Sippin' Ice coming in with
Slippin', what's up?
What is up, Sippin'?
What's up?
Bear with me, I'm just having a look at the chat. We've got Erica coming in saying, hey Erica, I hope you're doing well.
It's Omar Epps. Thank you, Lido. God,
that's it.
I'm embarrassed.
That is it. And we have
He's
another
really
super chat. Russell says, awesome panel. Would love to see Wes Craven's take on Pumpkinhead if he made that
That's
for
a
Wes.
good one.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a good one.
That would have been great. Thank you so much for that super chat. It is, as I said, going to a very good cause. So I do appreciate everybody who has. I never ask, but anybody who has bought a super chat today, I do really appreciate it.
You're doing great, Em. You're doing great. You know, a couple times you've been like, "This is why I don't appear on cam." You know, and no pressure to keep on doing it, but just the more you do something, the more comfortable you're going to get. And
that is true.
You know, the audience is here for you. So I do the same thing. I pick myself apart. I apologize and get embarrassed on my own streams or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I don't know why I do that, because the people keep on coming back. So You know,
It's
Yeah.
true.
we're all here for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we've got Oracle saying, "Hey,
Oh,
I just
what's
got
up,
done
man?
watching Dream Warriors. It's
What's
funny nice to
up?
see
Yes.
It is
Love
nice
it.
to see M on camera. Yeah, keep it up, everyone.
I mean, I did say this is probably going to be the only time I do, but who knows?
Oh,
Who knows?
no.
Stranger things have happened, so you never know. What's Hollywood is saying, they filmed the opening scene of Scream 2 at the Vista Theatre. If any of you get out to LA, get out to that theatre. It looks almost exactly the same now as it did then. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's so, guys, if you ever go to South Pasadena, so Vista Theater, I always thought it was the Rialto there in South Pasadena, but Lito would know because he lives out there. But all that stuff, like, you can visit the theater from Scream 2, Nancy Thompson's house, Michael Myers' home, the hardware store, the restaurant that Sarah Connor works at are all within like 3 miles of each other. Some of them are right down the street. Like the theater and the hardware store and Michael Myers' house are like right there, like on
That's
the same,
amazing.
like mere blocks away
Yeah.
from each other. So that's the really interesting thing about going out to the LA area is you hop around and you're like, wow, the movie magic is making these places look like they're totally, from all parts
There's so
of the
much
country.
great places.
But that's the
That's
thing about LA
crazy.
as well. You can drive out to the desert. You can make it to where you're not seeing the palm trees in the background, John Carpenter and Dean Cundy. But you can make LA look like anywhere America. It's wild that way.
It's a
I
great
mean,
place.
I've been to LA a couple of times because I used to be cabin crew, so I used to fly there a lot. But I've never been fully into everything because I'd get like maximum one night there, so it's like no point.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I think Shay can back me up with this. So we don't have that many cool places in the UK that would be like, this is where that was filmed, like that people would just go to. I don't know of any anyway, Shay.
I mean, there's like Shaun of the Dead, which is one of probably my favorite comedy film.
True.
Or
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, I think I can get there in like an hour or something. But yeah, it's not like there's not loads of them.
Well,
No.
they might do like big set pieces at like Leicester Square or whatever. But I'd imagine most of the stuff that's filmed out there in the UK is at the Pinewood, so it's like in a studio out there.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah, most likely.
At the moment, they're filming Practical Magic 2 over here. Crazy because very different to where they filmed the first one. But there's a place near London that is there's a little town that very much looks like a New England town. For some reason, they're just filming it over here, built the house and everything. I'm just like, it's confused me. But
taxes and labor laws, I'm guessing it's probably saves them some money there.
It's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, probably.
So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And
It's worth the discomfort if it helps the audience grow.
It's true. Hollywood also says that Jorge and Davey, you're both too hard on yourself sometimes. In my opinion, be kind to yourselves. You're killing it.
I don't know any other way, Lito. I don't know any other.
No, neither do I. And then I like Scream and I Scream. Jorge loves everywhere in America except Ohio. I was joking about that. It's just because of everybody saying that joke about Ohio being where. I know you know the joke that I'm on about, and if you don't, then maybe I'm just not down with it. But
no, I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan, and so our biggest rival is Ohio State Buckeyes, and so I love hating on Ohio just for fun.
There you go. Then. Sorry, I did mean to do it. So there you go. For anybody who gets out to LA.
Oh yeah, the Strode House.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also the Rob Zombie's locations. Like there's the Myers house from that one, and then there's obviously the John Carpenter one. Rest in peace, the Cary High School, but there's a lot of great places to visit out there in LA. Like you could go out to Disneyland if you want, Universal. They're all in the same place. LA has so much stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I mean, if you look at the UK, we're so small, like literally tiny. Like all of your states are completely triple, double, quadruple the size of the UK. So you guys have got, and like I know you're from Canada, cool, but like you guys have got a lot of cool stuff. Even in Canada, there's a lot of good movie making over there.
Oh
they filmed Scream
there's
6 there,
like
didn't they? So
No, I think that was Montreal, but they
Oh,
did
is it?
film Freddy versus Jason over here.
Oh, nice.
I think Bates Motel was filmed here as well, if that's what it was called. I know the house from that one did get torn down. The roller coaster from FD3 also got taken down,
Nice.
sadly.
Oh.
But
Boo.
I've been over to that place multiple times, the theme park where they filmed it. But it's a great place. I think at that theme park they also filmed Totally Killer as well for like if you guys know what I'm talking about, like the Gravitron like thing in the movie, that was at the PNE. They have like a
Oh.
concert area there, so I think BB No Money is going to be there or something like that because he's from Victoria. But yeah, there's some cool stuff here. All the Final Destination films, obviously. Scary movie, obviously. But
So
again,
I mean, yeah,
UK is a lot of stuff as well. Like
yeah,
28
a
Days
lot of-
Later, the iconic bridge scene.
Hmm.
Well, and a lot of movies get shot in Canada because it's like shooting in LA is really expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
It's one
cheap
of those,
here.
like-
That's why.
Yeah, you go to Vancouver or Toronto or Montreal and you can make it, you can dress it up, you know. So yeah, you know, I mean, and I'm sure, you know, I like could dig through. I'm sure Wes shot out there in Canada as well. But I'm curious to know for you guys, like there's some of these movies that I haven't seen. Like, have you got there's like this Cursed? I know there's this huge crazy story with Cursed where they basically had to like reshoot most of the movie. Did you guys you listen to like the Inside of You podcast with Michael Rosenbaum?
No.
No.
He had Skeet Ulrich on there.
No.
And he's like telling the story about, so Cursed is like it's Wes's like werewolf movie, right?
Oh.
And they filmed like half of it and then like restarted. They like recast a bunch of
Oof.
people. And so they restarted, and I think Skeet was one of the people they kept the whole time. So it's like,
wow.
I've never watched the movie, but I've heard that it's just such a strange, like you can sort of tell. It's almost, I would imagine it's probably like that Justice League movie where it feels like, you know, two movies that are sort of pushed together. But I was just curious to know if you guys had seen that one. That's just
No.
one of the ones I've missed of his. But Vampire in Brooklyn, I've seen that one. That one was odd. Like Eddie Murphy as
I know.
as a vampire.
Very odd. Very odd.
Yeah.
It's not really a role you'd see Eddie Murphy in. I don't
What's
think.
up,
That was a
Sam?
weird time
Yeah.
for Eddie Murphy. That was an odd time for him.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
But hey, Sam, I hope that you are okay. Thank you so much. for
Yo,
joining
what's up?
In.
Hey, what's happening, Sam? Sam, I'm
and
on day
then-
25 right now. Day 25, no alcohol.
Yeah,
Loving it.
Davey's doing very
Loving it.
well with his sober journey. So if we can all just give him some love in the comments, he's gone 25 days, no alcohol. Very impressive. And to think I was actually going to say as well before I watched your live the other day, I was like, let's all have a beer on stream. Yeah, maybe not.
I can still have. I got my water. I got my water in my Death Squad pint glass, which is
Oh,
available on the
that's
Davey
nice.
Death Ray merch shop. The logo takes up like the whole thing.
Which I
Beautiful.
think this is the perfect time for you to know.
Oh my gosh. I'll make it really quick. Guys, I have a merch shop. I might have just quietly started launching my spooky season merch. If you're a horror fan, I did like designs for like 20 to 30 different horror icons with little cute phrases on mugs. I'm going to put some of these on shirts. So if you're, whether it's Art the Clown or Pumpkinhead, which just came up, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, Michael Myers, shit, I got Chucky and Tiffany. I got Candyman on there. I've got a whole bunch of really, really fun stuff. Pinhead. So I'll share the link in the chat and then I'll shut up about it. But just so everyone knows, if you use the code Death Squad, tomorrow's gonna be the last day for the Death Squad code. You get 15% off. So just a little something, something.
And I have
I'll
seen some
drop
of
that
these
in.
designs and they are amazing. So
I have
definitely
reached
worth
out.
a look.
Yeah, I've reached out to a few people just to be like, hey, this one made me think of you, or like, I know you're a big fan. So like the Art the Clown one says drop on by the Clown Cafe, and it's like
Oh
a
my
circular
God.
badge. So
Love it.
it says that on the friggin' mug. I've got one for Ash Williams that says "Give me some sugar, baby" on a coffee cup. Come on, it's great. It's perfect.
You can't go wrong with it. You definitely
Yeah.
can't. Have you posted that link in? Yes,
I
you
did.
have.
I just posted the link, and for Pumpkin King, because Pumpkin King is the friggin' king, we made Amanda, who's in the chat, she made a badge, and I made a couple adjustments, and we made a Pumpkin King mug and shirt as well.
Oh,
amazing.
He's amazingly supportive of the community, and he really throws down. An awesome person to have, hanging out on the streams and supporting.
That's awesome. And he's done a super chat today, so obviously he's very supportive. So
yes,
definitely all for supporting people like that. We have got Oracle saying that he's been ducking and dodging all of the leaks from Scream 7.
yeah, valid.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want any.
I kind of avoid some of those. So it's really weird as a content creator. I don't know if this is like changed for you guys, but like the longer I create content, it's kind of like the more picky I am about like the stuff I watch. Because not only am I spending a lot of time on my channel, but I'm also like, once you're in it and doing it, the level of respect you have for certain for certain approaches. For me, I'm just like the Doom tubers. I watch so much less of them. Like the people that are just like, everything sucks and I'm worried about everything. I'm like, as far as the horror stuff goes, I'm just like, or just even movies. I'm like, oh, these guys just hate everything and they don't want anyone else to watch it. So it's like crying wolf. You can't if you don't like anything, how do I know if you're even telling the truth about anything? And then, and I'm not saying that about Critical Overlord. I'm just saying that sometimes I just avoid like any of the channels that like could say any potential spoilers, because I want Scream 7 to be as fresh as possible when I go see it.
And the last thing I want to do as well is spoil anything for anybody on my videos. So I don't like that whole spoiler mentality. So it's not something I watch.
I guess it's like you just never know if it's true. I mean, I don't know how close Critical Overlord is to the production, but you would really have to know somebody that's like there day in and day out leaking stuff to really have the true information, right?
I mean, I haven't watched him in a while. It would be. I haven't watched him in a while, but I know that when I did watch him, he was referencing viewer Anon quite a lot, who gave a lot of very accurate rumors before Scream 6.
Oh, okay.
So, and he's done that with a few, not Critical Overlord, viewer Anon has done that with a few movies. So I like to dodge things like that. I don't really like to watch them because Scream 6 was ruined for me. I found out who 2 of the killers were.
I guessed 2 of them. And I was right.
That was like a month before release, so it was like kind of like horrendous. Opening Twitter, just like, all right, great.
That's the thing. I see. I like Scream and Ice Cream said I saw something on Twitter of all places, and that's like the real bummer. I mean, Twitter can get ugly about a bunch of stuff, especially about Scream. But
especially.
But like even like spoilers for anything, like I shit you not, a movie will come out and it's like later on that night and people are posting like GIFs of like scenes from the movie, and I'm like, why? What the hell? Like, is it really worth the clout chasing to like spoil moments from a movie that just came out mere hours ago? And then not only is it just the regular people on Twitter, but it's like after Deadpool and Wolverine came out, like I swear, like that Sunday or Monday after, Marvel was like talking about, it's like they were spoiling cameos, and I'm like, well, now I'm not going to see your movie in the theater, assholes. And I'm glad I didn't, because that movie was kind of disappointing anyways.
That's one of the things about Scream 7 as well. I don't like how they have announced so many returning characters.
I think they did. I think it's a total like smoke screen. I think this is what happened is they're like, look, these pictures are going to get out when these guys show up anyways. These guys are going to be asked about this ad nauseum anyways. And then it's their way of saying like, hey, we're going to give you something. And then maybe there's other cameos that they can keep secret. But I think we're going to get, so of course they could do AI with the voice changer, kind of bring the voice changer from Scream 3 back in a way. But I think they might do something like if you're bringing Roman back, like maybe it's going to be maybe it's going to be like Halloween Kills, where we get a flashback and we see something before the first Scream movie. And maybe it's just going to be something really small. Because I mean, that's the way you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. Because I don't want to see Stu alive, but if they do something that's like that, then that works for me. But I'm really hoping that Scream 7, because they've already announced that Scream 8 is in pre-production. I'm really hoping that we don't get a full answer.
Yeah.
I don't want a full answer on Ghostface. I want
No.
maybe one of them gets caught, maybe they don't, maybe they both get away. I want there to be a cliffhanger. And one of the big reasons why is because, hey, Spyglass, hey, Kevin Williamson, us and so many other people are going to do all of your marketing and advertising for you, talking about Scream 8 for the next 1.5 to 2 years. And it'll be on everyone's lips if you give us that cliffhanger. We're all the theories. Em, could you imagine your channel would, like, every day you'd have to do something?
Like, literally, probably would, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just, going over all that, like what could be, is something that I think like the content creators could do a lot of that legwork for them. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I'm pumped that Kevin's directing. I'm sure that that's one of the reasons why Nev came back, not just for the money, but to bring Kevin back.
I think she actually was the one to bring him back.
Yeah.
Her and I can't remember who else got on to him and were like, you need to come and direct. And he was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Which
I wouldn't
really
be surprised. Cool. I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a make it or break it thing for her. She's like, you pay me the right amount of money and I'm not going to do it if Kevin doesn't come back and direct. And then you can guarantee that even if he doesn't take a writing credit, he's going to go over that script and make sure that everything fits and change some things if he doesn't think it fits. So I think we're in really good hands here. I think it's going to be the best one since 4.
I agree. And I still think that the delay last year, because they were supposed to start filming in, I believe, September, and they didn't start until November. I personally think that was because Kevin was going over the script with a fine-tooth comb and putting his influence in there. It's nice, though, because obviously there's that book that has come out, which I haven't read yet, which I do want to read. But they've basically said that they want to keep Wes's sort of spirit alive in the movie. And I think that's the tribute that Wes should have had, not Scream 5. Because as much as I can enjoy Scream 5 and Scream 6 for what they are, they're not bad movies. The love letter to Wes would be this, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited for it. I mean,
like,
I don't want to see any spoilers. I really don't. So I'm really hoping that that's not something that is.
Yeah, TikTok is a bad place for that. That's what happened with me in Scream 6. I remember I was just scrolling on TikTok, just watching videos, and then I get like straight up spoiled of the first 3 killers. They didn't say any warning. This was like the day it came out as well.
Oh, no.
I was looking on TikTok, look at a video, and it's just the 3 killers from Scream 6 just standing there, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing to me? And then I'm looking on TikTok again, and I get a leak from Scream 7's production, like an actual leak of Roman. I'm not going to say what it is, but it was pretty crazy. I'm not quite sure if it's real, but if that is real, I'm hyped. But I'm still really worried about the film. They're doing way too much to get people hooked onto the film. Like, yeah, I'm excited for it, but I'm less hooked onto it because they keep releasing more and more every single day. More leaks, more chances to get people to go to the theaters to watch this. Obviously,
but it's not them that's doing the leaks, I think that's the thing.
Yeah, it isn't really.
It's not like with Fantastic Four, which it's so crazy. Fantastic Four was a pretty good movie, but it seems like with the marketing, it seemed like they didn't really believe in it because they kept on putting out these scenes, almost like, "Do you like it yet, guys?" And then by the time I saw it, I was like, you guys shouldn't have been so worried. Your movie's like really fun. It's a first-time film director, and he knocked it out of the park. Like a guy that shot, I know you. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like 48 episodes, and knocks it out of the park there. But yeah, I mean, with Scream 7, it's just it's people that just want to get those followers or build the clout. Or
that's the thing.
Or like I like Scream and Ice Cream said, people that are mad about Melissa Barrera that want to.
And for me, it's more like earlier this year with like the Skeet leaks and all the other stuff I'm not going to get into.
I think
that's what
that
makes
was
me less hooked.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I do think they've announced some certain things because they know that there are going to be people who are going to boycott it because of the Melissa Barrera situation.
Which sucks for her. I'm sorry about that.
But she was never fired. Let's face it, she wasn't fired. She only signed up for 2 movies, so she just technically was not brought back for a 3rd movie. Fair enough. There's no point in my eyes to boycott it because at the end of the day, it's still going to be a story that's going to link in with Scream 6 one way or the other. But then you had people who boycotted Scream 6 because of what happened with Nev Campbell, with the pay situation. So it's like it swings and roundabouts. I don't think that people are saying basically that Scream 7 is going to perform poorly because of the amount of people that aren't going to watch it because of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I don't think that's true, because you're going to get all the people come back into it. And sorry, I'm rambling now, but I personally think because they're bringing back Stu, they announced that for people to come back. That was a clever way for them to be like, do you know what? We're losing a bit of audience, but if we announce Stu that we know everybody's absolutely in love with, if we announce he's coming back, that's going to bring some more money to us and more audiences.
And it's going to get us
100%.
talking. It'll get like all the YouTubers talking about it and everything. So yeah, it definitely gains that excitement. But yeah, I'm curious to see how many of the haters on Twitter actually go see the movie, because I think some of them are going to go see the movie.
100%. You can't not.
Yeah, they're all like, I'm never gonna go watch this, but it's very obvious they're gonna go watch it, even if they just watch it just to hate on it on Twitter for about five months, and then they'll just stop because not even 5 months, about a day, and they'll just stop because they have other shit to get on with.
Yeah, it's. I just think it's toxic fandom at its finest, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and the funny thing too is like, and I'm gonna totally sound like an old guy here, but I know exactly what age group these people are, because they're acting like Melissa Barrera is like been this superstar for like decades, and it's like, bitch, this chick's been in like 3 or 4 movies, you know, like 2 of them are Scream, so it's like, so you're acting like you're so loyal to this person, so I know that you're like 17 to like 23 or something like that, and these movies are so important to you, but it was just 2 movies. Her arc is ended. She has a full arc. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And then also, like, you know, whatever, in your private life, you should be able to like say whatever you want, but like sometimes the things you say like can cost you standing at your job. Everyone has that with the jobs they have. This isn't something that's unique to like actors.
No.
So there's
100%.
So when your contract is up and Spyglass is like, well, I don't know if we want to bring her back, and maybe that's a reason, and like that's fair. I think that's just as fair as like she's allowed to say it, and then she risks something by saying it. But it's another reason why I think that more actors and actresses, like one of the things I think could fix Hollywood as far as like big budget movies lowering their budgets and making money again, is actors taking a lower fee up front, becoming a producer so they can make money on the back end. When you become a producer, you're more inclined to shut your mouth and talk about the movie. When you're on the circuit doing interviews, you're more likely to do a better job in your performance, and you're actually invested, so you have something to say with the creative decisions and everything moving forward. So it's job security and money making. And the cool thing about Melissa Barrera is it seems like she's learned that, because I watched an interview where she's like, I'm interested in producing now. And it's like, that's awesome. You should produce. Like Elijah Wood produces. Sydney Sweeney helped produce Immaculate because it like ran out of money. So she was like, well, I'll give you some money because I believe in the movie. Make me a producer. We can finish the movie. Like, this is the new way for Hollywood to move forward. Instead of just paying actors, what, Robert Downey Jr. is getting $80 million for Doomsday. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
80 million, and the directors are getting 40 each. So that movie, just from those 3 people, is 120 million.
That's going to be like a $500 million budget movie.
It's going to be, it's going to be like 750 or a
Probably
billion after
more.
Marketing.
Maybe.
After marketing. They're gonna. It's like, fucking ridiculous. It's unsustainable.
It is unsustainable.
That film is going to be a fucking train wreck. Like, it's just going to be with random shit just thrown out there. It's just what they're doing. They're throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks, literally.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, with what's happening on set, with some of the actors fighting on set. Yeah, they haven't even finished the script yet. They're filming it, but they haven't even finished the script.
Yeah, Alan Cummings said he shot his scenes and he doesn't even know like who they're with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
he shot them with a stand-in.
Green screen room.
He shot them with like a stand-in delivering the lines, and it didn't say what the character's name was. And it's like, oh, well, shit. But yeah, I mean, bringing it back to a little bit of the West thing, I think, like, you know, one of the reasons why horror is so successful is because they keep things like budgets tight. You know, there are more, of course, Scream is part of a franchise, but there are more unique independent IPs, like something like Weapons and Sinners, which have both made a shitload of money this year. So horror is going to keep on keeping, or it's going to keep on being the lifeblood for Hollywood, and Hollywood will continue to ignore it and when it comes to awards and accolades, and treat it like the redheaded stepchild that it isn't.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Johnny's saying, is there any way to bring Melissa Barrera back? I think so, but I think it would be silly if they did. Nah,
Yeah, I feel like it would be silly because
not right away.
Everyone would go crazy on Twitter though about it. Like, she's not that big of a superstar. She's been in Scream 5, Scream 6, and then she did like Bed Rest shortly after Scream 5, I think. And then she was in Abigail, and that's really the only recognizable roles she has. She's not that big, but if they did bring her back, it would be cool. I don't think Jenna would come back to do Tara because of it. She might, because that's partially why she left the production for Scream 7, because Melissa wasn't coming back. But either way, it would be cool to see her back, but to bring her back this late into the franchise as well, like if she comes back in Scream 8, she's like 2 movies away from what she was. So it's like she's late to coming back. The hype's going to be all around Sydney, and if there is a cliffhanger, everyone's only excited about Scream 7. She's not going to have as big as a spotlight as she did in Scream 6.
No, but the way I see it is they could bring it back in 10 years when Sydney's story is over, because Neve Campbell will be like 60 then. She's not going to be wanting
old.
to play Sydney Prescott. You know, she's not going to want to keep on coming back for that. So
do
she's
the
a
legacy
great actress though.
She is a better actress than Melissa Barrera. Nothing like Melissa Barrera is fine. I think her best performance was Scream 6. I think she's way better
she did
in
great.
Scream 6 than in 5, so that's cool.
Her character development was great.
Yeah, and she's got a really good look and everything, and she's they could always bring her back. You never, Spyglass isn't going to hold on to this thing forever. So it could.
And she won't hold on to it either forever. She'll be over it. I know it sounds rude, but she will get through that. Should I say? Oracle says he can't wait to see when Scream 7 comes out and what Craven Something Scary has for his videos. 100%. He was supposed to join us tonight, but unfortunately he was unable to. But he's the one channel I will always go to for my Scream news and just theories. I absolutely adore his channel.
For me it's him and Jake. Those are the 2 big ones I go for.
Love Killjoy Jake.
I remember I was just like doing laundry a few days ago and I was like, oh hey, let's just put on some Jake. So I just started watching Jake while doing some laundry and stuff. When my grandma had like cancer and stuff, that was like all I could watch. Gain all the news on Scream 7, Bloodlines especially as well.
It's got to be done. Johnny says, I'm meeting Skeet and Matthew in the UK in October. Can't wait, even if it's just a photo up. I think we're doing that the same day as well, Johnny. So probably see you in line. But it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. I'm meeting loads of them. I'm meeting, what's his name? Joseph Whipp. I'm meeting what's his name? The guy who played Ghostface. Obviously, Jamie Kennedy as well. It's going to be a very good con. So I'm quite excited for that.
What con is it?
It's called For the Love of Horror.
Yep, I know it. I know this guy that he's a great kind of like horror toy influencer. Like he does collectibles and stuff. I don't know if you guys know him. His name is A Real Horror Show. He does like a whole bunch of like NECA reviews and stuff. He went to that convention last year. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes this year. I know that they're doing Silver Scream Con in London apparently, which is going to be kind of cool to see. Seeing Ice Nine Kills kind of expand their convention into other countries. They better come to Canada though. I would love to see them in Canada. I know it would be Toronto, but it's whatever. But yeah, I do know that convention you're talking about. I've heard about it a lot.
Yeah, it's a big one in the UK. To be fair, Johnny is actually the person who told me about it. I don't know if it was my live or if it was if it was Craven Something Scary live, I can't remember, but he told me about it, and I was like, I've definitely got to get in there because I need to meet these people. But yeah, I think I might even get a Nick Castle.
Yeah, I think
autograph
last
as
year
well from
was Robert Englund, if I'm correct. I think he went to For the Love of Horror in 2024, if I'm correct. I'm not quite sure. I think Linda Blair as well, if I'm correct.
That's amazing. It is amazing. Hollywood says your upcoming Ghostface meeting, are you talking about The Voice or live performance? I was actually on about Lee, but I will be getting a Roger Al Jackson autograph hopefully as well, but that's pay on the day, so you can't pre-order those, unfortunately. Same with Marley Shelton, you can't pre-order her autographs either, but I will be getting as many as I can. The only one I can't get for an autograph but I have a photo with is Matthew Lillard, because he just sold out extremely quickly.
They limit the autographs?
Yeah, they basically they knew how popular Skeet and Matthew are going to be this year. They limited it to two autographs per, like, whoever could get a hold of it. But I personally think they should have just done one because there wasn't enough to go around.
That sucks. I can see why they do that though.
Yeah, I have my photo with him and Skeet together, which is quite cool. But yeah,
I have Skeet's autograph, but I actually want to meet him because that was just a gift to me from Emerald City Comic Con in like 2023. But I really want to actually like meet him and stuff. But having it sell out is so bad. That sucks. That's what I'm worried about for like conventions, having to like go to conventions, but you want to prepay for stuff online. But it's like, what if it runs out? Like next week, I have a convention for where I'm going to meet David Harbour, Henry Thomas. Awesome. But I really hope I can actually get the prepaid signatures for that one, especially David Harbour, because that's going to be like a 2-hour lineup at best.
Wow. Yeah,
how popular he is with like Thunderbolts. My God.
Yeah. Those are when I went to H45, like some of those lines I just didn't like. I'd love to meet like Nick Castle and all that stuff, but it's like I'm not going to spend my time at the convention in a line. Like, so I went and got
that
like,
sucks.
You know, I was like, well, who can I get that's in like that I still want their autograph, but they're in a shorter line. So, and then you get a little more like like getting to kick it with Rowan Campbell for a little bit was awesome. And
oh man, I really want to meet that guy. I love Corey
stuff. So yeah, it's those are wild. I'd love to meet Matthew Lillard because I'd want to talk to him about SLC Punk. It's one of my favorite like dark comedies. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. It's really fucking good. I think it's celebrating its 25th anniversary like this year. It's awesome. So it's like it might have been something that was shot like right after Scream, and I think it took a couple years to release it. But it's based on a comic book, and it's based on the writer and director. He based it on his life of growing up as a punk kid in the 80s in Salt Lake City.
That's
so it's Matthew Lillard is so funny and so awesome. And Christopher McDonald, the guy that plays Shooter McGavin, he's in there as well.
Love it.
So it's a great soundtrack, really good fun. I think you guys would all dig it. So that would be one of the things, because I'm like, maybe there would be a little spark if I mentioned SLC Punk. It'd be a little bit something different for him to talk about.
I mean, there's Scooby-Doo. I know Shay's a massive fan of Scooby-Doo, but there's Scooby-Doo as well. Obviously. Shay's like the biggest.
What, 13 Ghosts?
Oh,
13 Ghosts is great as well.
Absolutely.
He's in that one, yeah.
It's so good. It's so underrated.
It definitely is. I'm just going to go through a couple more chats. I think we're going to start calling it a day. I usually aim for like between an hour and an hour and a half for my live streams. So let's have a quick look.
My phone's at like 12%.
So it won't be too long.
It goes down quick.
You got to plug that shit in, brother.
I know. Unlucky for me, I can't, since I have my mic here and I have a cord that plugs into my phone, so I can't plug it at all, which sucks.
That does suck. It does. Oracle said he'd love to meet Nev Campbell at a con. I would also love to meet her as well. Got another super chat from Johnny saying you should vlog For the Love of Horror. I hope I can say hi. Also, I would love to vlog it. I might look into that. And if you see me, definitely say hello. We also got another super chat from Johnny. Thank you so much, Johnny. Honestly, meeting Tim Capello also, I still believe. Love it. it has been an hour and 19 minutes since I had those audio issues and started this. So yeah, it's gone very quickly. I must say, and Shay says felt like 10 minutes. It
Like 10
definitely did.
minutes.
Hey Jeff, how is
Yeah.
it going? I hope you are okay. We are just about to wrap up in a minute, but thank you so much for popping by. Didn't seem like an hour. Been awesome as always. It definitely
yeah,
didn't. I'm definitely,
Yeah.
you know, I know we had a couple of people that were unfortunately unable to make it. Kyle, very last minute. I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
But having you guys on, honestly, it's been a lot of fun. So thank you all again for joining me. It's
Of course.
definitely definitely something we'll have to do again in the future.
100%.
Yeah, it's just nice to have everybody together sometimes. And I know that like I don't really do many lives. I mainly do videos, but definitely will be inviting you guys back on again.
And there's something to be said for, you know, having that live interaction with your audience and being able to build, like, cultivate that part of the community as well. You know, I think it's,
Definitely.
you know, and of course you want to lean into what makes you feel comfortable and everything.
Yes.
But even if it's just a live, like once a week or something, just to sort of do a check-in, just, you know, you bring in different people and
You do.
somebody, you might come across somebody's feed because they're a big Scream fan. Maybe they haven't found your channel yet. So
No, it's true.
I do encourage it. It's it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know, it's just nice to just see everybody everybody just come into the chat and come together, because a year ago I couldn't have even dreamed of that. I mean, I started my channel 13 months ago, and I would never have dreamed to have anything like this. So it really is nice, and thank you everybody in the chat for all of the super chats. I really do appreciate it. Bear with me. So Hollywood said, if you ever have a last second guest drop out, you can always hit me up. I'm always going to at least try to make it work. Thank you so much. I will definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. In case you don't know, Lido is he's an actor. He's a composer. So he's worked on a lot of these horror documentaries that all of us have seen, composing the music. And
Amazing.
he's performed in he was even on, I think Lido was it an ESPN commercial where he's cosplaying as Spider-Man and he gets like a little like bit of an interview.
That's funny.
As part of the commercial where he has like pretty funny line. And then if you guys have ever seen like the surfer Michael Myers, like with the like leaning on the surfboard, like top, like with his suit kind of half off, that's Lido. Lido's
No
like
way.
a very well-known his Michael Myers cosplays. He looks exactly like Nick Castle. It's fucking incredible.
Wow, that's
and I think
amazing.
Lido, correct me if I'm wrong, you were in something with what was it? A Halloween 2 video game commercial or something. Oh yeah, it was a pre-Comic-Con. It had that vibe of those Sports Center commercials that I used to see growing up. I don't know why I thought it was that, but yeah. So Lido is, and he's a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, so he's a very good resource for information, and a really really sweet guy as well.
We'll definitely have to get you on then. Maybe you can come on with Davey sometime and we can have a good
There we go.
live, and we'll find a topic to talk about, I'm sure. Eli's just popped in. He's saying, "What's up, everyone?" Hey,
Yeah,
Eli,
what's up, Eli? Welcome.
We'll be wrapping up shortly, unfortunately, but thank you so much for dropping in, and thank you. I thought I might as well make an effort.
For once, come on.
For what I know, disgraceful, isn't it? Always down to hang out with Davey, a wonderful human being. He's all right.
Pshaw.
And we've also got Destin from Destination Station coming in, saying, "What's up, Horror and Fam? How is it going? I hope you're doing well." We are literally just about to wrap up, but thank you so much for dropping in.
Well, and everyone that's showing up right now, you can always just scrub it on back. You can enjoy the conversation and us, you know, paying that tribute to Wes and talking about our favorite, you know, not only just the favorite movies of his, but diving into like, you know, how we kind of put a stamp on horror for each one of us. So really great conversation here.
Yeah, and I wish that, you know, I could have made it go on a little bit longer. So, you know, I do appreciate everybody's patience with everything and coming in and just being here. Everybody who has done a super chat, I will let you know when that is going to be donated to to worldwide cancer research. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, I'm not just going to donate everything from this stream. Everything that I've made since I've been monetized is going to go straight to worldwide cancer research.
Oh wow! Damn.
And I mean, it's not that much. Like, it's probably only like
That's
an extra
awesome,
£10 or something. But and then I'll pop in some of my own money as well, just so we can get a nice little donation over to them.
Heck yeah.
But
Hey,
once
that's
that is
nice.
done, yeah, once that's done, I will pop it on my community so everybody is aware. And thank you once again, everybody, for that. I really do appreciate it. With that being said, I have been Em. These have been my guests. Shay, do you want to tell us where we can find you? What's coming up for your channel?
Yeah, so you can find me at Shay Rants on everything except Instagram, because for somehow that was taken, even though I don't know how, it's kind of random. But yeah, upcoming I have a video talking about the movie Tusk from 2011 or 2014, I can't remember exactly. And then I have a video talking about the evolution of the Scream franchise, how it's changed each movie.
Amazing. That sounds awesome. Davey, what's coming up for you?
So coming up for me, I've got a Hit the Bricks live episode with Lee from Drum Dums and Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. That'll be coming up here on Monday. We talk about some horror news, but we also just kind of cover, the whatever is topical at the time. So we'll probably discuss a little Toxic Avenger on that episode, that live episode coming up here. I go live a lot, guys. Everyone that's from over on my channel or frequents my channel, you guys know I go live like 4 or 5 times a week. So I'll be keeping that up. Late Night with the Davey, I do that on Wednesdays. So when it's at nighttime, it's 9 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it's before dark, and that is at 2 p.m. Eastern when I do before dark, or 3 p.m. I guess it sort of changes. I'm not as consistent with that. But yeah, you can find me, Davey Deathray. It's the easiest way to find me. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever, all over, Davey Deathray. I just started a Discord that I didn't even know Discord could be this much fun. So it's a great way for people to connect in the community in between streams and get to know each other even better, and for us to grow stronger as a community, outside of the chat room and everything like that. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, I guess I can drop that link one more time here. If it's still there. I've got a whole bunch of brand new merch. I quietly dropped a bunch of spooky season merch, and more is to come. So if you're interested in that, check it on out. If you're a horror fan, there's going to be something there for you. And yeah. I'll be on Facci Cinema this Tuesday, 9:15. We're going to do a battle between Friday the 13th, 1980 and Friday the 13th, 2009. So if you're a Friday the 13th fan, come on by and join us. Always having a blast. And one of the cool things about the Discord, guys, is we can do live watch parties and mixtape parties, which is like a listening party. And you can show the movie on the screen. You can listen to the music. You don't have to worry about the rights issues or anything like that. So it's a really fun place for us to be able to do some stuff that YouTube won't let us do. So come on by. And thank you so much for having me, Em. Guys, Em is just 11 subscribers away from 900. If you're over here and you've not yet subscribed to Horror Hers channel, please do that. Show her some love. It's a very kind gesture to not only donate the money earned on this stream, but everything she's gotten since she's monetized. It's very sweet. And let's support each other. All right.
Thank you very much.
Fuck that cancer shit.
Yeah, exactly. Hate cancer. But thank you for that, Davey. Cruel Zevi, what about you? What is coming up for you?
Well, for me, in around 2 weeks, the 8th episode of my podcast with my friend Alejandro, we're going to be talking about the Halloween Horror Nights thing. And then Our Life in Horror is coming on for my 9th episode around The Strangers. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, obviously. CruelZV Lives 96. I also do a whole bunch of gaming streams a lot of the time, usually Dead by Daylight, sometimes Siege, Rainbow Six Siege. Developer of some games on Fortnite. If you guys play Fortnite at all, just add me if you want to play any of them. Movie ideas. I do a bunch of stuff, but the podcasts is really like my biggest thing that I do. Yeah, that's really it. I have some more coming out this year. Black Phone 2, Stranger Things, FNAF, Silent Hill, Return to Silent Hill, which is going to be cool to do. Scream 7, obviously. And yeah, that's really it for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So if you do want to go and follow these guys, if you're not doing so already, which I would highly suggest, the links are in the description. There's also links to Craven Something Scary and Flet's Movies and Pop Culture 13. I would highly suggest subscribing to them as well. With that being said, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I have had a blast, and I hope to do this again very soon. But everybody in the chat, thank you, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye.